A big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Hello everyone, my name is Caitlin and welcome back to my channel. So a while ago I did a video on what I thought were the top 10 best or most iconic Hannah Montana songs, and then ever since then I really wanted to do a list on just my own personal favorite Hannah songs, just to kind of shine a light on some of the more underrated songs, or just to gush once again over some of the bops that the show created. And so since I can never do anything in moderation, I thought it would be a lot of fun to just rank the entirety of the Hannah Montana discography. So all 6 albums from season 1, 2, 3, 4, the movie, and of course Meet Miley Cyrus. And some of you might be thinking, Caitlin, why Meet Miley Cyrus? That is a Miley Cyrus album and not a Hannah Montana album. And to those of you, I would say you must be a little bit younger and not remember when this album came out, because when it came out it was sold alongside with the Hannah Montana season 2 album. And so for me, those 2 albums have always kind of gone hand in hand because they were literally packaged and sold together. Like the track list from Hannah Montana 2 kind of like goes right into Meet Miley Cyrus in my brain. And so that's why I wanted to include it, and because of the Best of Both Worlds tour, how she toured both of those albums together. And so I just always feel like they were kind of intertwined with one another, at least they are in my brain. Like they kind of go hand in hand for me. Like I can't talk about Hannah Montana 2 without also talking about Meet Miley Cyrus. And so that's why we're including it, and also because I asked you guys on Twitter if I should include it and you guys said yes, and so here we are. I also just wanted to point out that I'm only doing one version per song. So like for example, there's a few songs where they have like Hannah's solo version of the song and then also Hannah's version with like a featured artist. And so in those situations I just picked my favorite of the 2 instead of having like the same song be on the list multiple times. Also, if there are any songs that I missed, it is because they are not on those 6 albums. I'm only including the songs on the track list of the Hannah Montana official discography. And so if I didn't include something, blame Spotify, which, speaking of Spotify, that's a good segue into my next point, which is that obviously I can't like play every song because then this video would be very long. It would also probably get taken down for copyright. And so instead I thought it would be a fun idea to, when I show the photo, like there'll be a sliding thing and the song will come up. There's going to be a Spotify code on the screen as well. And so if you're watching this video on like your desktop or a TV, you'll be able to scan that code and listen to the song on Spotify while I'm talking about it if you need like a refresher. If you're watching this on your phone, I apologize, you can't do that. And if you are an Apple Music user or any other user that's not Spotify, you also won't really be able to do that. But my Spotify users, you guys are in luck. You can go and get a refresher of the song while I'm talking about it. And so I thought that was a fun little loophole instead of like getting taken down for copyright. I also just wanted to say sorry in advance if I end up repeating myself a lot in this video, because I have 72 songs to get through. I did not make a script for this, and so if I end up repeating myself a lot, I apologize, but I'm just having a good time. And then one last thing, I just wanted to reiterate that this list is obviously just based off of my own personal opinion. I'm sure the title of this video is something dramatic like the definitive ranking of every Hannah Montana song, which, like, to be fair, I'm just sitting here having a good time. Like, is this a definitive ranking? Yes, of course, I'm correct. But also, like, it's just my own personal opinion, you know? Okay, with all that being said, let's jump right into these Hannah Montana songs. So at number 72, we actually don't even really technically have a Hannah Montana song, but in last place is Shining Star by B5. This was a song that was on the season 1 album. I apologize to any of the diehard B5 fans out there. I actually heard this song for the first time while making this list, and I just really wasn't vibing with it. I'm not very familiar with B5 as a group, but I do think that they did have a song on the High School Musical album as well, or I could be making that up. And yeah, I don't know, I just wasn't really vibing with this one, and then I thought that maybe I was being too harsh on it, and so I listened to it again, and I wasn't vibing with it the second time either, and so that's why it's at the bottom of this list. I apologize if you really like this song. It's just not my own personal cup of tea, and so that's why it's last. At number 71, we have a song from the Hannah Montana the movie soundtrack, and that is Everything I Want by Steve Rushton. And I had never heard of this artist before, and so I looked him up on Spotify to see like if he had a big following, like if people would be mad if I put this song so low on the list, but it looks like he only did like a couple songs here and there for a Disney Channel, and so I don't know, he seemed like kind of the go-to guy to make like a filler song for the soundtrack, and that's kind of what I feel like Everything I Want is. And it's kind of like that type of country that like I'm just not personally a fan of, which we'll talk a little bit more about later, because I'm not like an anti-country music person, but there's definitely like a certain type of country music that I just don't vibe with, and so I feel like this song kind of fit into that a little bit. And also, I don't know, I just found it boring, and so that's Everything I Want. It was honestly everything that I did not want, and so it was number 71. At number 70, we have another song from the Hannah Montana the movie soundtrack, and that is Back to Tennessee by our good old country dad, Billy Ray. And now this is an example of like the country type of music that I just don't personally vibe with. It's just not something I like. Like, I was listening to the song and I was just like, no. You know, I applaud Billy Ray for all he did for the show, and if this is your type of song, then more power to you. But for me personally, I was just like not liking it. and so it's number 70. Next we have our first actual Hannah song, and that is Just a Girl from the season 3 soundtrack. Now in terms of like double life songs, this one has just always never been one that I liked. Like definitely bottom of the list for me. I apologize if it is one of your favorite songs, because I definitely feel like I have heard people talk about liking this song before. I'm just personally not one of those people. I've always found this one to be boring. I've always skipped it ever since I was a kid, and so yeah, this was kind of a no-brainer for me to put this one this low. It's just not one of my personal faves. Next, we have our first Miley song with Clear from Meet Miley Cyrus. Now, this song I respect. You know, like, I really like the beginning, it's fun, but the rest of it, I don't love. It's always been a skip for me, and I think it will always continue to be a skip for me, and so that's why I just had to put it down low. Number 67, I think, is another Steve Rushton gem with Game Over. Now this one I think definitely goes a bit harder than Everything I Want. I like the vibes, I like the chorus is very catchy. However, just in comparison to some of these other songs, I just felt like it didn't compare. You know, it didn't live up to the competition. It got stiff competition here, and Game Over was Game Over. So that's where it is. So number 66 might be a little bit controversial because I think this one is another fan favorite, but I've got All Blue Jeans at number 66. I don't know what it is about this song, but ever since I was little, I've never liked it. I've always skipped it. I always just thought it was kind of boring. And I think that this song, along with like a few others on this list, definitely suffered from being overplayed, and so that probably taints my opinion of it as well, like just from Disney Channel and the show, just like playing the same songs over and over again. And so yeah, Old Blue Jeans I personally never liked, and so it's where it is. Next, 65 is As I Am from Meet Miley Cyrus. Now this song makes me sad that I don't like it, because I do really like the message of it. I think it's a really cute little song about like liking someone for who they are, and that's great. However, I don't like the song for who it is. And so that's why it's the bottom of this list. I'm sorry, Miley, but I don't think it's one of the best ones from the Meet Miley Cyrus album. Okay, 64, we've got Pop Princess from the first Hannah Montana soundtrack. I forget who sings this. Let me double check 1 second. Oh, the Click 5. I'm not familiar with the Click 5. I apologize if you guys love them. I don't hate this song. I thought it was fine. And this was another one that I listened to for the first time for this video, and then I listened to it again to make sure that I agreed with my thoughts. And I don't know, I didn't hate this song. Like, it is kind of fun and catchy, but I feel like this is another one that, like, in comparison to some of the other songs, it just doesn't really live up, and it just kind of fell flat overall. If you're a big Click 5 fan, I apologize. But that's where it is. At number 63, we have our first song from Hannah Montana Forever, and that is Need a Little Love. And so this is the song that she did with Sheryl Crow for the Christmas special, I believe. And I just personally, again, have never really liked this song. It always kind of fell flat for me. It was one that I would definitely skip as a kid, and so I still skip it to this day, which I guess maybe I should have put aside more of that bias. No, okay, so in making this list, I just literally laid down on my bed and listened to every single song and tried to take away any bias I had against them. Even though I did have that bias, it still wouldn't have affected how I ranked it, because I still just don't like the song to this day. And so that's why it's low on this list. I'm sorry, Sheryl Crow, but I feel like you guys could have done better in my own personal opinion. Next is Are You Ready? And so this one was from season 4 as well. And this song, honestly, isn't that bad. It's just, for those of you who don't know, it was a season 3 reject, and so they added it on the season 4 album to fill it in. And so I feel like you can definitely tell that it is a season 3 reject. And so I just feel like it doesn't really live up to the season 4 album, especially because the season 4 album is so good. And then this song just kind of feels a little bit out of place, and yeah, it's a reject, and you can tell that it's a reject in my opinion, and so that's why it's low on this list. Okay, so now I feel like we're actually getting to the songs that I like, and we're only at number 61, and so I feel like that really speaks volumes as to like the quality of the Hannah Montana discography. But at number 61 is What's Not to Like. This is from Hannah Montana the movie. This song's a bop. I don't really have much else to say about it. I feel like it's like like there's certain levels as to like what a bop is, and I feel like What's Not to Like is kind of low on the bop scale, and so that's why it's not very high, but I do still really like this song. I think it's a fun one. So at number 60, we have a song from Everlife. So they were a girl band that like I feel like had so many songs in DComs and just movies in general back in the day. And their song that they had on Hannah Montana was Find Yourself in You. I actually don't know if it was on Hannah Montana, but it was on the season 1 soundtrack. And I think I listened to the song for the first time for this video as well. And I loved it the first time. I think I actually had it a lot higher up on this list. And then after I went back and re-listened to it, I didn't love it as much, and so then it ended up falling down on the list. But I think that's just because of like iconicness in comparison to some of these other songs on this list. Like when I think about this song, I don't think about Hannah Montana, you know? And so that's why I ended up here, but I did really like it and I think it's a bop. I don't know what the Everlife fandom is like, and so if you're upset with this placement, I apologize. And I just want you to know that your thoughts and opinions are valid, and I agree that this song is very good. So I will give you that. Number 59, we have Don't Walk Away. That's from Hannah Montana the movie. That's a good one. I like it. Or it's Don't Walk Away when I'm talking to you. I think this is the song when she's in the barn feeding the chickens and she's like, I'm gonna be a country girl and I'm gonna do this. I think they're playing this song during that scene. Or maybe not. I haven't watched the movie in a hot minute. Yeah, this song's fine, and so it's number 59. Hey, that rhymes! Oh, I like that. Okay, number 58, Jackie is gonna hate me for this. For those of you who don't know, Jackie's my best friend, and she's not gonna like this placement, but at number 58, I have Pumpin' Up the Party, and I say that she's gonna hate me for this because she loves that song, but I personally, like, when I just sat down and listened to it, I just found it to be a bit too repetitive. I was a bit disappointed because, I don't know, I mean, to be fair, I never really loved this one that much as a kid. I just kind of was like, it's a Hannah Montana song, so of course I like it. Whereas now I'm kind of like, I don't know, it's a bit too repetitive for my taste. But I still like it. So 58, sure. I'm still very surprised that this one ended up being so low, but I guess it just goes to show how great these songs are. But 57 is Ice Cream Freeze, Let's Chill, or as I like to call it, the Hoedown Throwdown knockoff, Hoedown Throwdown 2.0. I don't know what this song was. And this song is a bop. Like, I was just obsessed with it as a kid, but I just can't ignore the fact that, like, I'm just so confused as to why it exists. Like, we already had the Hoedown Throwdown. Why did they make this one again? It's just Hoedown Throwdown 2.0. I don't understand, and so that's why it's 57. And then speaking of Hoedown Throwdown, that's number 56. Number 56 is Hoedown Throwdown. I am so sorry for all the Hoedown Throwdown stans to have this song be so low on this list, but I honestly, like, I just don't go back and re-listen to it now that I'm an adult. Like, there's so many songs on this list that I feel like have that longevity to it, and in my own personal opinion, I don't think Hoedown Throwdown has that. Like, it was a moment, it was iconic when it released. I actually personally choreographed with two of my best friends a whole dance to Hoedown Throwdown. I know that there is a dance, but we made our own and performed it in our talent show in grade 4, and so I do have very, like, strong attachments to this song. Maybe that's why I don't want to listen to it anymore, because, I don't know, I listened to it too much as a kid. But I will admit that when I did go back to re-listen to this song, when like going through the list again, I definitely, I think, moved it up a little bit higher than it was. At first I was definitely like, oh, Hoedown Throwdown, I'm so sick of this song. Whereas second time around, I was definitely vibing with it more. And so it did get pushed up a little bit higher, which I'm happy about because, I don't know, it is nostalgic and it is a fun time and it was pretty iconic when it came out. And so yeah, that's Hoedown Throwdown. I'm sorry for it being so low, but that's just how I feel. Next is another song that I feel like people are gonna come for me for having so low on this list, but just hear me out first. At number 55, I have True Friend. Now, here's my thing with True Friend. It was just way too overplayed. I think this was probably the song for me that suffered the most in like how overplayed it was. And I feel like this one also doesn't have some of that longevity like I described earlier that some of these other songs on this list do, like kind of like with Hoedown Throwdown in my own opinion. Like, I just don't think it really resonates with me as much now as it did when I was a kid. I do have a distinct memory of like sitting in the car with my mom. I think we were in a drive-through for McDonald's or something, and I remember listening to this song on my iPod Shuffle and being like, I love that Hannah doesn't just sing about boys and relationships, like she sings about friendship. And I thought that that was like such a cool concept. And so I have that nostalgia attached to this, like the fact that I still remember saying that to my mother. But as far as this song goes, I cannot listen to this song like genuinely to this day. Like, I can't just sit down and be like, I'm gonna jam to True Friend. Maybe you can, and more power to you, but me personally, I can't. And so that's why it's 55. And the next song is kind of similar vibes to that. At 54, we have I Miss You. To be honest, I actually don't know if I did really like this one as a kid or not. Like, I can't really remember. I feel like I would listen to it casually, but I wasn't like obsessed with it like some of the other songs on this list. And now I never listen to it. I always skip it. It's just, I don't know. It's never really resonated with me that well. I mean, I never really lost a grandparent as a kid, so maybe if I did, then I would resonate with it more. I was doing this watch party with my patrons a little while ago and we were watching the Hannah Montana concert, and she says during like one of the behind the scenes footage that like what's so great about this song is that you can like attach it to anything. Like it doesn't have to be about a lost grandparent, it can be about anything that you miss. But I feel like the fact that it was about her grandparent, like, is the only part that I remember. Like, someone commented in the Discord when we were watching it, like, but you can't attach it to anything else because all I think about is I think it was her grandfather, every time I listen to this song, and it's so true. Like, I don't know, I've never been able to disassociate Miley from this song and, like, attach my own sort of meaning to it. And so maybe that's why it's so low for me, but yeah, I don't know. And as far as songs about like missing people goes, I wouldn't say that this one would be like my go-to song. Like I feel like you can definitely tell that she wrote it at the age that she did, like, and there is something sweet to that where it is like so surface level, like I miss you, I miss your smile, and sometimes I cry about it, like that is sweet. But then at the same time it's like, I don't know, I kind of want something a bit more complex than that if I'm ever like in the mood of like I'm very sad and I miss someone, I need something to listen to, you know. I wouldn't go to I Miss You by Miley Cyrus. But it definitely does still have that nostalgia value, and I think it is really sweet that she wrote it at the age that she did, and it's about her granddad. Like, it's really cute, and I love that. But yeah, 54. I'm sorry. 53 is Spotlight from the Hannah Montana movie. Not much to say about this one. I think it's a fun song. I really enjoy it. It's a nice casual listen, but it's not like one of the best ones, so it's in the middle. At 52, kind of in a similar vein, we have The Good Life. I was actually, I don't know, surprised by this song a bit because I don't think I ever really listened to it, and so listening to it now I was like, oh, this one's kind of good. I don't love the message of it. I don't know, the message is just kind of like, we're living the good life, we are rich and famous. Isn't that great? And it's just kind of like, okay, good for you, can't relate. But yeah, this song's still fun. At number 51, we have an iconic gem from the second Hannah Montana album, and that is Make Some Noise. I actually did not like Make Some Noise as a kid. I would always skip it. I was like, this song is really boring. And then recently I kind of got back into it and I was like, wait, no, this song is good. But it hasn't been able to climb the list any higher than 51. I don't know. I feel like it's good, but I do sort of agree with young me in that it's not that great. Like, it's kind of boring. But I do like the message of it, you know. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not strong enough. Make some noise. Be yourself. Be loud, be proud. I like that. And it's a really cute song. And so, 51. At number 50, we have Rascal Flatts to thank for this one, and that is Backwards. Now, I don't think that he made this song for the movie, but it was on the soundtrack, and so that's why it's here. This one's fun. I know this is another one that Jackie really likes, so she'll probably be mad with how low I have this one. But she did say that she didn't like it as much as like the one that they released on their album, so I guess that this one is a bit different. I don't really know the Backwards lore, but I will admit that this song is a bop, and it's one of those country songs that I can get behind. I think it's a really fun song, and if you haven't listened to it, you definitely should. At number 49, we have another very iconic Hannah song, and that is Who Said. Now, this song I feel like I've always liked, but there was just something about it when I was just lying there listening to the album in chronological order, where it started and I was like, oh, I don't like this one. And then I was like, oh wait, this is Who Said. And then I was like, oh, well, I still just don't really like it that much. And then I went to re-listen to it later on, and I still was just, I don't know. I was surprised. I feel like I've always confused Who Said and I Got Nerve for some reason, maybe just because I thought that they were similar. And I just feel like I Got Nerve is so much better than Who Said, and so I just didn't really like it that much, and I'm surprised by that, but that's where it is on the list. It is still a good song, don't get me wrong. It's number 49. It's above a lot of songs that I said I like as well, and so it's still good, but this is where it is. Next, at number 48, we have You and Me Together. This song is really cute, and I really like it. And I feel like as a kid I didn't really listen to it that much, and so it didn't get like overplayed for me, and so that also makes me like it even more. But yeah, it's a cute song. I don't really have much to say about this one besides it's cute. Number 47 is Supergirl. And I feel like I might regret that placement because I feel like Supergirl is a good song. I feel like on the surface people might be like, what? That's like so superficial. It's just like a song talking about how like hot and awesome she is, but it's like you're clearly not listening to the rest of the song because it's talking about how like everyone expects her to be this super girl, but she's like, I'm just trying to do me, you know? And I feel like that's a really cute message, and it's cool how it's kind of like hidden behind that. Like you have to actually listen to the verses of the song to get like what the whole picture is about. And so now I'm like, damn, maybe I should have ranked this one higher, but I don't know. It's never been one of my own personal favorites, and so I can see why it would kind of fall middle to like upper bottom half of the list. Like we're not at the bottom anymore. Like now we're at like the bottom of the top, if that makes sense. And so that's Supergirl. Number 46, we have another iconic double life song, and that is The Other Side of Me. And this song, as a kid, I would always confuse The Other Side of Me and Just Like You until I grew up and realized that those were two different songs, and then just felt like Just Like You was one of my favorite Hannah Montana songs of all time. And so then The Other Side of Me just kind of fell flat, because I was like, well, that's not the song that I really like, that's Just Like You. The Other Side of Me is just that other song that I would sometimes confuse with the song that I actually like. And so that's The Other Side of Me. It's still a fun song and I like it, but I don't like it that much, and so this is where it is. What's next? Ooh, next is Butterfly Fly Away at number 45. Now when I listened to the song the first time, I was like, cute. I listened to the song again though, and I was like, oh, I love this song so much. And I don't know why. I guess like as a kid I did really like it. I don't really have any other thoughts. I think in terms of like the Billy and Miley duets, this one is probably my least favorite. I don't know. They do have some really good duets throughout the series, and I didn't really realize that until making this video, is that I think they had a duet in almost every season, and like they're all really good, but this one I guess is just my least favorite. Although I do still really love this song and it's really beautiful, and I'm kind of sad that it's only 45. But again, that just goes to show how good these songs are. Number 44, we have Let's Get Crazy, and I feel like now we're getting into the season 3 bops. Well, I guess we talked about Supergirl, which was also season 3, but regardless, season 3, in my own personal opinion, is the best soundtrack, and so I get excited when we're talking about any songs from the season 3 album. So Let's Get Crazy is just an example of that. It's a good song, it's a fun time. It was also on the Hannah Montana the movie soundtrack, so respect for that. I'm really happy that they did perform that in that movie as well, because it's a good song and it deserves recognition. I don't know why it's low. I guess just because I like the other songs better, that's how it works. But yeah, Let's Get Crazy is still fun and I enjoy it. I mean, it's kind of like surface level fun, like it's just like a fun party song, but it's still good nonetheless. 43, we have Dream. This one is also from Hannah Montana the movie. Well, I guess Let's Get Crazy is technically season 3. Anyways, yeah, Dream is from the Hannah Montana the movie, and I feel like when I first heard this song, I didn't like it that much, but then when I revisited it for this video, I was like, this song is so good. Why have I not been listening to this song all along? I'm obsessed with it, and it's a really cute song. I really like it, and I feel like they should have used it in the movie. I don't know, maybe they did and I'm just forgetting, but I feel like they didn't, and I feel like it would have worked really well in like some sort of montage scene, because it is a really cute song, and I like the message of it, and just, I don't know, I really like this song, and I'm definitely going to be listening to it more often, and so it's why it's here. Number 42, we've got Let's Do This, another bop from season 3. I feel like Let's Do This, It's All Right Here, and Let's Get Crazy in my brain would always kind of blend together as one, and I'm just now realizing how many times that was the case with the Hannah Montana discography with me as a child. I'm not too sure why, but now I'm curious to know if there's any other songs that you guys like would mix together or confuse as a kid, or if that was just me. But now like looking at them all separately, I feel like Let's Do This was pretty good. It's another just like fun song. It's just a good time, you know? At number 41, we have Let's Dance from the Meet Miley Cyrus album, and this is another one that I was just obsessed with as a kid, whereas now, I don't know, it's not one of my favorite songs. I do still really like it. I feel like it's definitely like a mid-tier song in terms of like the songs from the Meet Miley Cyrus album. But every time I think about this song, all I can think of is her iconic outfit from the Best of Both Worlds concert tour, and that was my favorite outfit as a kid. Every time I like, I don't know, pretended to be a pop star in my room, like that was the outfit I envisioned myself in, and now looking back, it makes me laugh. But yeah, this song is still a fun one, and I really like it, but it's not, you know, it's not top tier just quite yet. At number 40, we have Bless the Broken Road. This song was on the Hannah Montana the movie soundtrack, and so that's why it's included. It doesn't even really feel like it should be included. Like, this is not a Hannah Montana song, but it was on the soundtrack, so that's why it's here. Every time I think of this song, I just think of how Jackie and I in the car will play this song and try to sing it with as much twang in our voice as we can, and so that also adds a little bit of a bias towards it for me in terms of like where I placed it. But it is still a beautiful song. Like, I tried to listen to the song like without any biases and whatever, like I tried to do with all of these songs, and I was like, wow, this song is really pretty. I can see why it blew up as it did. But like, I don't know, it's not really a Hannah Montana song, and so that's why it's like mid-upper range on the list. Number 39, we have Bigger Than Us from season 2, and this song is a really beautiful song. I really like it. I think it's really cute. I love the message and the lyrics and the way that they used it in the show as well, how it was a song that Billy Ray wrote but I guess most of them were used like that. But I just mean the scene when like he's singing it and then she comes and sits down and then she's like thanks and they're watching her perform it. It's just a really cute moment and I really like this song and I feel like it's kind of underrated, and so I'm happy that I have it higher up on this list so that it can get more love because it deserves it. See what I did there? That's what's bigger than us. Okay, next. Number 38, we have GNO, A Girls' Night Out, and I mean, what more can I say about this song besides it's a bop, and it still goes hard to this day. I don't know, I was kind of surprised by like where I ended up placing this song just because I thought it would end up being lower, but it didn't disappoint when I re-listened to it. I was like, no, it still goes pretty hard if you ask me. And so that's GNO. Also, every time I think about this song, I just picture Miley in her like plaid skirt and knee-high socks, and I feel like that's just what GNO is all about, and so that's why we love it. And so 38. Next we have another Miley and Billy Ray duet. Can you guess which one it is? I'll let you guys take a second to write your guesses in down below before I say it, okay? So make sure you write those down there. I'm gonna be checking. See if you're right. Okay, number 37 is Love That Let's Go. So this is from Hannah Montana Forever. I don't actually know if this was ever performed on the show, but I feel like it should have been because this is a really good song. And yeah, that's basically all I have to say. I feel like now we're in like the really good songs. Like now, this is what it's all about. This is what the Hannah Montana discography is all about. It's these songs at the top 40. Yes. Okay, cool. That's Love That Let's Go. It's a really good song and I really like it. If you never heard it, you should definitely go listen to it. Let's move on to the next one, which is at number 36, Ordinary Girl. This one's a big fan favorite. I know people love this song and I do too. I think it's really beautiful and it never disappoints every time I listen to it. I mean, the music video does disappoint a little bit because I guess they couldn't afford to get Miley to actually be in the video, which kind of sucks. I mean, I'm sure they could afford it, they just didn't want to afford it. But nonetheless, this song is still really good and definitely one of the best double life songs. And it was kind of nice that it came like later on in the show to kind of show that she's, I don't know, it's like a more vulnerable double life song, and so I like that about it. And so that's Ordinary Girl. I love it, and I'm sure it's probably lower than a lot of people would have liked, but this is where it ended up. Okay, next we have a song that I feel like some of you might not have heard before. If you haven't heard this song before, like just do me a favor, like if you only listen to one of these songs after this video, like please let it be this one, because I feel like more people need to appreciate the masterpiece that is She's No You by Jesse McCartney. Like the fact that this song is on the Hannah Montana album just makes me so happy because it means I get the chance to talk about how much I love She's No You. It's one of my favorite Jesse McCartney songs. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Jesse McCartney song. I think my favorite Jesse McCartney song is probably Just So You Know. Does it really have any relevancy to Hannah Montana? No. But that doesn't excuse the fact that it's still so good and it was on the soundtrack, and so it's included and I love it. And I love Jesse McCartney. I saw him live one time and he opened with this song and it was a blessing. I also met him, so that was pretty cool too. Okay, next, 34 is Kiss It Goodbye from season 4 of Hannah Montana. I mean, this song I feel like kind of speaks for itself. It's such a good song. This one was more of like a Miley song than a Hannah song, but nonetheless, total bop. Like, I don't know. I feel like this song never gets old and I can just blast it. It is a little bit repetitive and sometimes I'm like, you can calm down. But most of the time I'm like, please never calm down. Such a good song. 10 out of 10. Love this one. Oh, but I love this one even more. See, now we're getting into the really, really good ones. Number 33 is Barefoot Cinderella. And like this song never fails to put me in a good mood. Like I can be crying, but then put on Barefoot Cinderella and I'll be a happy gal. Like this song just goes so hard and I love it. And it also reminds me of the episode where she performs it and then she hugs Jesse and everyone's like, oh my God, she hugged Jesse, but he's dating that other girl. The drama, but so good. Okay, number 32 is Best of Both Worlds, the theme song. Now there is two versions of Best of Both Worlds, the one from the season 1 soundtrack and the one from the movie remix. I personally like the movie remix just like a little bit more, but it's a very close tie, and so that's why I picked the movie remix one, but I do still like the original one too for the nostalgia. I don't know, I just feel like the beat goes harder in the movie remix. They are very similar, it's kind of hard to tell the difference, but that's why I chose that one for the one beside me. But yeah, I tried really hard to listen to the song without any like pretenses to it. Like I really didn't want to just be like, oh, this song is so overplayed and just be sick of it and just not give it the time of day. Like I really wanted to like appreciate Best of Both Worlds for like what it is, because like I couldn't tell you the last time that I actually like went and listened to the song by choice just because it was so overplayed, and so yeah, I don't know. Even though it was very overplayed, it is still a very good and fun and catchy song, and I can see why it is one of the most iconic Disney Channel theme songs, because it just goes so hard, even to this day. I can't deny that. And so this is where it ended up. I mean, if it wasn't so overplayed, it probably would have had the potential to be even higher up on this list, but I can't ignore the fact that it was just like played over and over and over again throughout my childhood, and so this is where it ended up. At number 31, we have Life's What You Make It, and I always forget how good this song is until I take the time to like sit down and listen to it, and I'm just like, how was this song allowed to go as hard as it does? Like, when the clapping kicks in, it's just like, ugh, it gets me every time. And it's always like, I don't know, it's super nostalgic, but also super fun, and I feel like it wasn't too overplayed, so I can still like really genuinely enjoy it. And so yeah, this song's so good and I love it. And it makes me think of like those like pants that she was wearing when she was performing this, which is also just making me now realize like how iconic her outfits were, and they really like paved the way for fashion. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's late. It's not even late. It's 9 p.m. But yeah, Life's What You Make It is a really good song. Moving on to number 30, which is It's All Right Here. And this song is definitely, like, without a doubt, one of the best ones from the third season album. Like, I don't know what else to tell you besides why would I rather be anywhere else with me? I tell you, man, it's all right here. I'm also realizing, and this is something I realized when I was listening to a lot of these songs, that I'm not very good at lyrics, or at least I wasn't very good at lyrics as a child. I think I just made them up half the time, and then I'm like relearning the lyrics now as an adult, and I'm just like, why did I think that that was that when it was clearly that, you know? Anyways, this song's really good. It's a lot of fun, and there's not really much else I can say about it besides the fact that it's a really good song, and I really want to listen to it now, so I might have to do that after I finish this video. Okay, what's next? Oh my gosh, see, now we're in like the really good ones where I have a hard time just articulating what I'm trying to say just because I can't get over how much I love these songs. Okay, number 29 is Que Sera, Sera. Yeah, great song. 10 out of 10. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. The message, great. The lyrics, also great. The tune, as you can tell, I'm not a very good music critic, but like the sound of the song, great. Well, now that I'm thinking of it, the message, I guess, is just like a breakup song, but it's like the sass that comes along with it that just makes the song so good. Everything about this song I love. Like, I never get sick of it. I remember as a kid when season 4 of Hannah Montana was airing, me and my friends were like anti-Hannah Montana. I don't know, don't ask. But I was obviously still secretly like still obsessed with it. And this was the one song that I would just listen to on repeat. And so it's also super nostalgic for me, and yeah, I like it. It's fun. At number 28, we have just another iconic masterpiece, and that is East Northumberland High. I don't think I will ever get sick of this song, no matter how many times I listen to it. Like, this song just resonates with me deep in my soul. Like, I feel like as a child, I didn't really understand the lyrics. I was just like having a good time jamming to the song. Whereas like there was a certain age where I got to in my life where I was like, oh, like I understand what she means now with this song, and that just made me resonate with it even more, and it's just so good. Like this song has no right to go as hard as it does, and I'm kind of disappointed that it's only number 28 on this list, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that it is honestly one of the best songs ever made. I love East Northumberland High, and it never gets old. Number 27 is I Got Nerve, and I don't know, I'm kind of surprised that it ended up being this high up, but then also not, because when I was re-listening to it, I was like, this song is so good. I feel like I've kind of been sleeping on I Got Nerve for a while now, but I shouldn't be, because it's so good. Also, it reminds me every time I listen to it, well, not every time, but sometimes, occasionally when I listen to it, it will remind me of the concert movie where she was so scared of the lift, and then the lift was like not really that big of a deal, but it's just, it was a moment in my childhood, and I remember feeling so worried about her and the lift. I mean, I'm sure they just like amplified that problem for the movie so there could be like a little bit of a drama with it, and then it's like yay when she actually like did it. But yeah, I Got Nerve is really good. I feel like it was also the song from the show with the boxing thing with Jackson. Am I right in that? I hope I'm right. That was really good. I liked that. I also really like I Got Nerve. It's a really good song. At number 26, we have We Got the Party featuring the Jonas Brothers, and that is a very important thing to add, that it needs to be the Jonas Brothers version, because I don't know, it's just so heartbreaking that that version was never like an original song on the track list. Like, it was just the Hannah version. Like, it's not even on Spotify. To this day, we don't have the Hannah Montana and Jonas Brothers version of We Got the Party on Spotify, and that just breaks my heart. I included it in this list because it was a bonus track somewhere. I don't know where, definitely not in Canada, which makes me very sad because I remember as a kid like always wanting to listen to the song with the Jonas Brothers because it was introduced in the episode with the Jonas Brothers, and then they only ever had this version with just Hannah, and it made me sad because I didn't want that. Nobody wanted that. You gotta give us the bros, and so that's the only version I will accept, and that's the only version that matters. And it goes really hard. It's a really fun song and I really like it. So that's 26. And number 25 is If We Were a Movie. Now this song is one of those ones that was one of my favorites as a kid and still to this day is. It's still one of my favorites. It never gets old and I don't think it ever will. If anything, it just gets even better. You know, it's like a fine wine. It ages with time. Oh, that kind of rhymed. Wow, look at me. I'm just killing it with the rhymes today. Yeah, I really like this song. It's really fun. It never gets old. There's also the version she did with Cordon Bleu, which I think is also really good, but I personally just like the solo version just a little bit better. Just, I don't know, maybe for nostalgia. But yeah, this song's really good. 25? Sounds about right. At number 24, we have Start All Over, and I can't talk about this song without also talking about the music video because it was just so iconic, how it did the one continuous take throughout it. It just, I don't know, it was such a moment in my childhood. Also, every time I think about this song, I just think about Sing It. I don't know if anyone else played Sing It growing up, but I definitely did religiously. I have all of them still to this day. I will still play it with my friends. But Start All Over was definitely a go-to Sing It song for me and my friends, and so yeah, that also adds another layer of nostalgia to it. And yeah, this song's a lot of fun. It was one of her first singles, I believe, from the album, and for good reason, because it's a bop and I'll never forget it. Speaking of things I'll never forget, at number 23 is I'll Always Remember You, which is kind of a lower ranking for this song because it was a pretty iconic song, but that's where it is. There is another one that is also kind of a similar vein that is definitely a lot higher, so that's probably why I had this one be a bit lower. But nonetheless, this song is still really good, really nostalgic. It doesn't really get me in the feels as much as another one that I'll talk about in a second, but it's definitely, there's some feels that get gotten when I listen to it. And yeah, it's a fun one, and so this is where it is. At number 22, we have Good and Broken, another one of my favorite Miley songs. This one just gets me in the feels every single time I listen to it. I don't know what it is. I think it's just like the lyrics and just everything about it. I just love this song so much, and I definitely feel like it is a little bit underrated, and so that's why I'm happy that it is this high up on this list. And so for people who haven't heard it, maybe they'll go listen to it because they should. It's, I don't know, I just feel like it's a really good song. Maybe people won't agree with me on that, but for the people that do agree with me, we're we're aligned. We are the ones that know what's up. So that's Good and Broken. Let's move on. At number 21, we have The Climb. Finally, I'm sure a lot of you were waiting to see where I would place The Climb. This is another one that I feel like definitely suffered from overplaying, but still, like, if it does come on, like, I'm not annoyed by it. Like, if Best of Both Worlds comes on, I definitely get annoyed, but I don't think I've ever been annoyed by The Climb because it definitely still resonates with me a little bit, and it makes me feel nostalgic and happy. It still is a really beautiful song, even after all these years. I also feel like it is the #1 highest streamed Disney Channel song, I believe. I know I made a video, and so I'm pretty sure that's why I know this information. I know it's definitely the highest streamed Disney Channel song on YouTube, but I don't know about Spotify. But I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But I just think that it is really cool that it is one of the only Disney Channel songs that's been able to like break it into mainstream, and that is because it is such a beautiful song, and I feel like even to this day, whenever Miley sings it, it does get me in the feels a little bit. And so yeah, that's The Climb. I love it, and it's a really pretty song. I don't know, I feel like some people might be disappointed with where I have it, but I still feel like it's a pretty good, you know, it's up there, but it's not, I don't know, there's other songs that I like better than it, so this is where it is. Alright, number 20 is Been Here All Along, and I feel like this is another song that is very underrated. I feel like no one ever talks about it, but they definitely should because it's such a beautiful song, and I love it with my whole heart. I've always loved it ever since it came out. It's always been a favorite of mine. I love the message and the lyrics and how it is all about like children whose parents were stationed overseas, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a really beautiful song, and it gets me in the feels every time. It makes me feel that nostalgia and just everything about it. I think it's a really beautiful song, and I feel like people don't talk about it enough, and so this is me talking about it, spreading the word. If you haven't listened to this song in a hot minute, go back and give it a listen because I feel like it will not disappoint. At number 19, we have One in a Million, and I feel like some people might be like, oh my gosh, that song is so overplayed, but for me, I don't know, there's just something about it that it never got old for me. Like, I could have it played over and over again and I would still be like, yeah, this is a good song. And if anything, it just, yeah, has resonated with me more now that I am an adult and have I don't know, been in relationships and stuff. It's just, I don't know. That's something that I think is really cool about a lot of these songs, is that like the older I grow up, the more that some of these songs resonate with me, which I think I might have already mentioned that earlier, but the point still stands. And this song is one of those examples of that. And so yeah, I just think that this one's really beautiful and definitely one of my favorite ballads from the show. Next we have See You Again, and I feel like this one and Start All Over, I would always kind of like have them together in my mind. Not like that I would confuse them like some of the other songs on this list, but just that they kind of like went hand in hand and I never could decide which one I liked better. And so it was kind of nice to like make this list and actually like force myself to choose between the two of them. And as you can see, I chose See You Again as being the superior song, and I definitely stand by that decision. I think that See You Again is better, and I'm curious to know which one you guys think is better based off of those two, just Start All Over and See You Again. Let me know in the comments down below which one you think is better. But See You Again is really good. I really like this song. Also, every time I listen to it, I just can't help but think that, like, you know how in the line where she says my best friend Leslie, I know that she says that because she actually does have a best friend named Leslie, but I also just can't help but feel like she actually is talking about Jake Ryan because his real name was Leslie. I don't know, is that too much of a deep cut for some of you? But that's where my mind goes every single time, and I'm curious to know if anyone else's mind goes there as well. So let me know that in the comments down below as well. Number 17, we have Just Like You. Now, like I mentioned a while ago now, I can't believe how far back that was, but I mentioned a while ago that this one is one of my favorite songs, and so I'm sure it's not that surprising to see it this high up on the list. And this is one of those songs that I didn't really fall in love with until later on in my life. And I'm not really too sure why. Definitely one of my favorite Double Life songs, and really nostalgic for me because it is from the first season, and yeah, there's just something about it that it never gets old, and so that's why it's up here where it belongs in my own personal opinion. Next we have Right Here, and so I think this is the highest ranked song from the Meet Miley Cyrus album, and I definitely stand by that. It's such a beautiful song. I love how it's all about like being there for your friends and stuff. I kind of wish I would have listened to it more as a kid because, I don't know, it's not that nostalgic for me, but I guess that's kind of a weird thing to wish that something was more nostalgic than it was. But either way, it's a great song and I love it. Number 15 is Nobody's Perfect. Now, this might be surprising because I feel like Nobody's Perfect definitely suffered from like being overplayed. But like I said, when I was making this list, I just tried to take away all of the biases, and when Nobody's Perfect came on, I could not deny how good it was. Like, I was jamming out to it. Which is surprising because I feel like any other time that it's come on, I've always skipped it and be like, oh, Nobody's Perfect. Like, I don't know, so sick of it, you know, kind of like Best of Both Worlds vibes. But yeah, this song, I can't deny how much of a bop it is. It goes really hard. And it also reminds me of this one time with my little sister Carrie when we were playing Sing It a few years ago, back when like I was showing her Hannah Montana. So she was like, I don't know, like 7 or 8. Or maybe a bit older, I don't know, I'm bad with ages, but we were playing Sing It and we were singing Nobody's Perfect, and it got to the spoken word part and there was no words on the screen, and Carrie just started saying the words, and I was just like this is what this song's all about, you know? It just it just brings out that in people. It's such a good song. And so yeah, even though it is overplayed, it's still like, you can't deny how much of a bop that song is. And number 14, we have my personal favorite Miley and Billy Ray song, and that is I Learned From You. This is the song from season 1, even though I don't actually think it was ever used in season 1. I could be wrong though, let me know down below. But I don't know, I felt like I never heard this song until making this video, and I was just blown away by how good it was. The fact that this song existed for so many years and I didn't even know just breaks my heart because it's just such a good song, and I wish I had it in my life earlier. I do wonder if this song is one of the reasons why we got so many Miley and Billy Ray duets afterwards, like if they were like, oh, that song was good, we should do that again. Or I don't know, maybe they just wanted to do that because it was like cool that they both were musicians. Either or, it could be either or really, who's to say. But yeah, I Learned From You is really good, and if you haven't heard it, definitely go listen to it because I'm just obsessed with it at the moment. Number 13 is Don't Wanna Be Torn, and this song, I don't even know how to express how much I love this song just because it is so beautiful. I just love everything about it. I love how it was used in the episode. I believe it was the He Could Be the One episodes with like the love triangle, and then she like says like, I thought you said it would be easy listening to your heart, and then that lyric in the song cues up right afterwards just perfectly, and I just love when they do that in shows and movies. It makes me laugh but also makes me really happy. And so yeah, that's Don't Wanna Be Torn. If you haven't heard it in a while, I would definitely recommend going back and giving it a listen because it's just a gorgeous song. And number 12 is This Is the Life, and I feel like this song just speaks for itself. It's definitely my favorite song from season 1. And another thing I really like about it is that I feel like it wasn't too overplayed, or maybe it was for other people, but for me it wasn't. Like, it never got old, and yeah, I don't know, there's just something so special about this song. It's got like a little bit of country to it, but it's still pop, and I love the lyrics and just everything about this song. It almost feels like it's not a Disney song, if that makes sense. Not like there's anything wrong with Disney songs, obviously. But yeah, I really like this song. It's a lot of fun. 10 out of 10 from me. And number 11 is Crazier. This was the song that Taylor Swift wrote for the movie, or she might have wrote it and then like added it on to the movie when maybe they asked her. I don't really know the logistics of it, but this was the Taylor Swift song from the movie, and it is just gorgeous. Every time I listen to it, I'm reminded of how beautiful it is. Taylor Swift is just iconic, legendary. We love her, and this is just like, I'm actually a little bit sad that this song didn't make it into the top 10 because it's one of the best songs. Like, I remember when the movie came out and I would just listen to the song on repeat because it's just so good and it still holds up to this day, and so that's Crazier. And number 10, we have I'm Still Good, and I feel like this song might be my comfort song out of like all of these songs. Like, no matter what, I can put this song on and it'll make me feel better. Just like that like first line of the song, it really hits ya, you know? And it's just really good. I feel like this one is definitely underrated and people need to talk about it more. And so putting it in the top 10, I'm like really making my thoughts known about I'm Still Good. But yeah, this is another one that just never gets old. I love everything about it, and so here we are. Okay, next we have another fan favorite that I've noticed has been getting a little bit more attention on TikTok recently, which I'm very happy about because it's very well deserved. But at number 9, we have You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home from the Hannah Montana movie. Now, this song is just pure magic. There's something about it that just gets me going every time. I mean, the thing that is about it is probably that it was written by Taylor Swift because she is a songwriting genius. But also this chorus, just you can't deny how hard that chorus goes. There's just no denying it. It's definitely one of the best Hannah Montana songs, and that's all I'll say about that. And I'm looking at the top 8 now, and I'm just noticing that the majority of it is from the season 3 album, but like I said a while ago, that's my favorite album, so that's really not a surprise as far as I'm concerned, but I just wanted to, you know, let you guys know. But at number 8, we have Mixed Up. This song is definitely one of my favorites. I love how it kind of shows like the more darker side of the whole like double life thing and what that would probably do to your brain, and how that would really mess with you and mix you up. But yeah, this song's really pretty and I really like it, so it's number 8. At number 7, we have another fan favorite, which is also one of my favorites, which is Gonna Get This from season 4. Every single Try Not to Sing challenge, I guarantee, like Disney Channel Try Not to Sing challenge will have this song on it. Like, I guarantee. And if it doesn't have it on it, then it's a bad Try Not to Sing challenge because this song is just so good. And I also love like the storyline of the episode, how it was like Hannah was trying something different and her fans weren't too sure about it, but then she's like, I'm gonna go with my gut. And I'm so happy that she did because the song is just so good, and it just, I don't know, it's so good. What else can I say besides it speaks for itself? If you don't think it's a good song, go and listen to it again because it'll prove you wrong in the fact that it is so good. I'm gonna move on. At number 6, we have a personal favorite of mine that I'm not too sure how other people feel about, so maybe let me know down below how you feel about this song after I talk about it. Or before, I don't know. Number 6 is Every Part of Me, and this song just gets me in the feels every single time. It's similar to Mixed Up in the fact that it kind of talks about like the more harder side of like having to live this double life, and I just feel like this song does it like slightly better than Mixed Up, but it is very close between the two of them. I just like Every Part of Me just like that much more. This song was my favorite Hannah Montana song for the longest time. Whenever people would ask me which one's my favorite, I would always say this one. But now I have a new favorite. But I do still love this song a lot, and I think it's really beautiful and deserves more love. And so this is me giving it more love. Alright, next at number 5 is Let's Make This Last Forever, Oliver's debut into the music industry in the show, and he did not disappoint. This song, I don't think I was mentally prepared for how good this song would be as a child, and I still am not to this day. I think it's so good, and I love it, and it's a fire song. So that's Let's Make This Last Forever, and I'm pretty sure it's a fan favorite as well, and so I think you guys will agree with me on this one. But I definitely feel like we should have gotten more Oliver songs after this one, because clearly he was holding out on us. Holding out? Holding back? I don't know. There's an expression in there somewhere. At number 4, I mean, what can I say? It's Rockstar. Are you surprised? Probably not, because this song is just so freaking good. This song was number 1 on my list for the longest time just because it is so good. I mean, there's a reason why it was her opener for the tour. It's just, there's no denying how good of a song this one is, and I don't know, part of me feels like it's underrated, but another part of me feels like, I don't know, maybe I'm just talking to the wrong people. Like, I feel like people are appreciating this one, right? Or they should be, because it is so good. So yeah, that's Rockstar. Number 3 is He Could Be the One. And this is another one that I'm sure some of you are like, oh my gosh, so overplayed. But for me, I'm just like, no, this song will never be overplayed. It always goes hard, it always delivers, and it never disappoints. And it's from one of the most iconic episodes from the series, and so it's so good. Like, it never fails to make me happy. It's always a good time whenever it comes on, and so I just had to have it at number 3. Oh my gosh, down to the top 2. Okay, so at number 2, I have Wherever I Go, the version featuring Emily Osment, because I believe there was 2. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was 2. The Emily Osment version isn't even on Spotify, and that makes me sad. But then I found out that the song to begin with isn't on Spotify, or maybe that's just for me in Canada. But either way, I feel like the version featuring Emily is the one that really gets me in the feels. The reason why I have it at number 2 is because when I listened to it again for this video, it actually made me cry. And so no other song on this list made me cry. And so I just had to give it that number 2 spot. This is the song I was talking about earlier when I was talking about I'll Always Remember You, how I feel like there was another song that was like in similar vein but done better. That was this one. I feel like this song is the perfect farewell to the series, and I love that they got Emily on the track as well because, okay, don't get me wrong, like, I don't mind the fact that Lily's character couldn't sing, but it does make me sad that she couldn't, because Emily can sing, and she's got a great voice, and I would have liked to hear more of it in the show, but obviously we didn't get to because her character couldn't sing, and so it was really nice that they did add her in for this track, and it's a really beautiful song, and I love it, and so that's why it's number 2. Now at number 1, I don't know why I'm going to look because I already know what it is. It is I Wanna Know You featuring David Archuleta. This song, I don't even, I cannot, I can't speak. I just love it so much, I don't even know how to words. I love everything about this song. The lyrics, the message, I don't really know if it is a message, but just like the meaning behind this song. Like, this is another one that definitely like resonates with me more now that I'm an adult and like I said, like actually going through relationships and stuff. Like, this song just perfectly resonates with me, and just everything is so perfect about this song. And I also loved the episode that it was in. It makes me think about like the prom and that guy that she ended up going to the prom with, and how David Archuleta was like, but don't you want to do a song with me? I'm David Archuleta. And it was like, oh, David Archuleta, you... It makes me really sad that this song isn't on Spotify. They do have the Hannah version, but not the one with David. I believe that they used to, and then something happened where now they're both just the versions with just Hannah. Like, one of them is actually listed, like, it'll say David Archuleta, but he's not actually in the song, which just breaks my heart because he is, like, part of the reason why I love this song so much. Honestly, there's just no other song in the Hannah Montana discography that makes me feel the way that this song does. And I could honestly just go on and on about how much I love this song, but it would probably just get super repetitive and boring, and so I'll save you from that speech. Maybe I'll do it on a live sometime. But in the meantime, this video this video is sponsored, so let's talk about that for a sec. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is an online platform that gives you a powerful and beautiful spot to create your very own website. With Squarespace, you are able to create a site that not only connects you to your audience, but can also generate revenue through gated members-only content. You're also able to manage your members, send email communications, and leverage your audience insights all on one easy, user-friendly platform. What's also great about Squarespace is that it has a fully integrated commenting system that supports threaded comments, replies, and likes, so you're really able to create a community while also taking advantage of their other blogging tools that they offer, like categorizing, sharing, and scheduling posts. It's also a great platform if you're thinking about launching an online store, as they have these new tools called Squarespace extensions, which basically help do whatever needs to be done to get your items shipped across the globe. Not to mention, you're also able to connect your website to your favorite social media channels so that when you have a new post go live, you can have that automatically update your socials, or if you have something on your socials that you want to share to your website, you can do that as well. So if you want to check out Squarespace, go to squarespace.com for your free trial, and then when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/CaitlinMCK for 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Thank you once again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking them out, as it does really help out the channel a lot. So yeah, that is my favorite Hannah Montana song, I Wanna Know You, featuring David Archuleta, but I want to know what that didn't work at all. I tried to do like a play on words like the song title, but it did not work. Still, I do want to know what your favorite Hannah Montana song is, so don't forget to let me know that in the comments down below, or also let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how much you like I Wanna Know You, because I just really love the song and I want to talk about it. Anyways, Cater Tots, thank you guys for sticking around. That is all I have to say for today. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.